guys the Chesterton Fairhaven showdown when we were in Iowa?
Welcome to our 98th episode of Guerrilla Radio. I'm Joe Caprino, and we have had lots of issues with with some streaming. We are actually not on Facebook. We are only on YouTube. But we got Mike here. We're going to talk some wrestling.
What's up? I was just thinking, man, as this is going on, I didn't even know I missed the Chesterton showdown, Chesterton and Fairhaven Baptist wrestled this past weekend when I was in Iowa. Some good matches in there, man. I'm a strong supporter of the Fairhaven program. I like to see them. I think they're gonna go out and wrestle Rensselaer, who's at 118 state.
Nice.
We've seen them at the Carney, and they had some pretty good wrestlers. I thought Gideon Ramos was pretty good. He had a 10-1 win over Brandon Bolin. Pretty good. And then Will Wisniewski at 138 went to Ultimate Tiebreakers with Ethan Contreras. So I always think they have a couple guys. They're not an IHSA school that could compete at the semi-state level for sure. Gideon Ramos, I think, is a state level guy. I mean, you can't put him in the rankings just because he's not going to be in there.
Yeah.
But I think that he's at that level.
Yeah. So no, that's
I said I'm echoing.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. I believe.
Thanks, Troy. Thanks, handsome Troy.
Hopefully it's fixed now. If not, it's going to be a little bit harder to diagnose without our guys there. So yes, that was a big match. Glad to see them hitting that, doing the getting some of those good teams like that. And it's always neat. It's kind of one of those things that we always kind of joke about, but it'd be nice to have more kids competing. Maybe we might have to do a story on them and kind of get a little bit more of a background of what goes on at that program, because obviously they bring in some pretty solid kids, and man, they could definitely make an impact in an already tough semi-state.
Yeah, I think I would just be interested to see where some of their guys fall. Like they had a kid last year that was pretty good. I know 2 years ago they had a kid that beat Dinger there, who ended up being a state runner-up in Indiana. Those Wisniewski kids are pretty good. Ramos is pretty good. Like, I would like to see where those guys kind of fall,
Yeah, definitely. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they. I mean, that year that Dinger, that one kid beat Dinger. Dinger went to state, so
yeah,
that's no slouch to beat there. So yeah, lots of it's starting to dwindle down. We had some conferences this past weekend. I know. Geez, what's it? The Perry Meridians Conference. Perry Meridian and Franklin.
Is it MIC?
That's Warren Central.
Yeah, Warren Central.
Center Grove.
Carmel. The Lawrences.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go and see what was going on last week. That conference was going on.
That was a good conference. MIC?
Yeah, the MIC. That was the... shoot.
Tyler LaRocca with the win over Zach Dre. Oh yeah, they had some real good ones. Kyrell Lavelle, Reese Courtney, a real good Ultimate Tiebreaker, 2 real tough freshmen.
Yeah.
Carlton Perry, Etan Helveri, who knows? Ed's gonna get us, man.
Ed must not be watching. He would have ripped us already once.
Yeah.
Shoot, I keep.
Jeremiah Henderson over Deshaun Tincher.
Yeah.
Malik Stansberry had a really good Marion County tournament there. He ended up 5th.
Yeah, they who do we have here?
Real good one at 132, right? Anthony Hughes with the win over David Pearson.
Yeah,
and then beat Brad Cooper in the finals.
Yeah, he's had a rough little early season, and I know that their team, I'm fairly certain they got quarantined, had a rough go early on, and I mean obviously he's pretty tough. He beat both Pearson and Brad Cooper in the same night.
Qualifier too, right?
Yeah, he was a qualifier. So if he's starting to click at the right time, that could be, that he could spell trouble and play spoiler at an already deep weight class. That's already just monstrous. I know they
have good coaching, man.
Yeah. He had Jacob Avon there, coaching him up. He's gonna teach him how to grind, and go forward. So, let's see what else. Who else did they have? You said
Champion Ross, Hayden Watson, Diesel Duncan, Jeremiah Hernandez.
Yeah, Diesel. I think I saw. It was the first time since like it's been like it's been a while since they've had Ben Davis had a conference champ.
Really?
Yeah. So.
What about man? I guess Liddy's already graduated.
Yeah.
Heidi. Man, they had some really good big guys the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Too. They've had
since
some.
I guess since 2017. Doesn't seem like too long, but I mean, it's still a while. 2017 would have been somebody. And that conference is not getting any easier with Center Grove starting to get the ball rolling pretty hardcore. And then you have Carmel and Warren Central. Jeez, that's just brutal.
Good one with Joanne Anderson, Riley Rust.
Oh yeah,
Robert Major, Tyler Jones, Carolyn Keith also in that weight.
Yeah, that was a pretty deep weight class. I mean, just a deep. I mean, I started putting in the results, and I had to go back to the quarterfinals for some of those weights of significant results that were going on. Drake Buchanan, Keon Sullivan. Buchanan's having a really good year.
Dude, monster year. He's good. He's real good.
Yeah. Zach White, Billy Kepler, Owen Green, Makai Watts, a very familiar name in the North Central realm of wrestlers.
Yeah, I think now you're starting to see like a lot of these conference tournaments, and it's just kind of starting to feel like that state time, which is exciting.
Yeah, these ones are starting to look. I think these ones usually go the week before anyway. I know the MIC, they ran half of it Thursday night and then the other half Saturday morning. So, which was very interesting to see. Seeing half, I mean, they buzzed pretty much through it. So I wonder if, in all honesty, that might have played an effect on how some of the kids performed. Long night of wrestling and making weight and, quick turnaround. But at the same time, you're going to have to do that at times. And if you're not managing your weight correctly at this time of year, then that's kind of on you as a coach and as someone that's been in that situation. You got to manage your weight. The Mid-State Conference, that's the one with Franklin and Perry, Mooresville, Decatur Central, Martinsville, Plainfield, Whiteland, and Greenwood. Pretty solid conference, top to bottom. I guess the biggest interesting news out of that is we're going to try to rank Matt Kuntz at least 5 weights this year. Is that are we trying to? How many weights are we?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have the comments tonight. You did 32, you did 38, probably 45, 52. Like, I'd like to see him maybe bump at 60. We can get him in there for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's nice.
He'll be at 52, it sounds like, for the time being, for the rest of the year maybe. But who knows? He's made every weight possible, so you might see him up at 70, 82. I think he's been hanging out with the Warrens. That's my guess. He's been hanging out with Mama Warren's cooking there.
Yeah, getting some of those treats. Pretty good.
Yeah. So don't blame him. I mean, that's not a bad thing to do. So, yeah, that was a good conference there. Keaton, Perry loaded down low. Billerman, Keaton Morton.
Well, that's the other flip to that rumor is that Alex Cotty's going to slide down to 113.
Yes.
It's kind of a game changer, and I'm sure that's a power move right there, because you're thinking like Brownsburg's going to be in the title race, and you're also going to have Perry Meridian. If you could take out one of their big guns with one of your big guns in the individual side, maximize your points. I'm assuming that Brownsburg would be in the mix for a state title.
Yeah, Brownsburg. I mean, you're thinking. You have. I guess Cole Ross is at 20, isn't he?
Yeah.
You're thinking about trying to get. He's going to be favorite to be under the lights. Obviously, he's never wrestled not under the lights. Yeah, Logan Miller. That's going to be a pretty big match right there. Then Kuntz right in the mix. 152 is such a toss-up. I mean, honestly, looking at the rankings, anyone in that top 10 are really contenders for 152. There's no one
that's
obviously the top 3 or 4 guys are pretty tough, and you're gonna have to be wrestling your best to get, to win those matches. But at the same time, there's no one that's, it's not like 138. It's not like some of the other weights where we're looking at and like there's a clear-cut top 5 guys. But I mean, Juwan Anderson. Go ahead.
It's a weird year where like a lot of different stuff can happen. Like if 38, like if something were to happen, you assume you know who the champ's going to be, right? And 26, he's been wrestling really well. 20, you had a showdown of state champs. Now you're gonna have that at 13. But 52 is loaded, right? Like, I mean, I would see even, you're talking into like that 12 range with, Tyler Williams wrestled really well at the Perry Meridian thing.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, all the way down there. Even Ben Phillips has number 9. Ben Phillips has a win over Jordy Folks, who was a semifinalist last year. So, and not just a 3-2 win, as an 8-2 win. Obviously, we didn't see the match, but it's one of those things that you're seeing as there's a lot of guys that I think at 52 it's going to come down to matchups, who matches up well with each other and everything. Obviously, you have Juwan Anderson and Matt Kuntz coming out of the same semi-state. Down south, you have Rust and Jay Conway, Javin Estrada and Brock Ellis coming out of East Chicago. Tyler Conley coming out of East Evansville.
Well,
so
you're setting up maybe that's going to be a tough one because Riley Rust, Tyler Conley coming out of the same regional.
Yeah, they could be.
You could draw JJ Conway.
Yeah.
Also Scott Fitz. Nick Cicerelli also coming out of that regional.
Tyler Williams.
I believe Landon Bow's up. Let's move him out of that weight class. No, he's not at 52 anymore. Let's move him out of there. Okay. But that's kind of like what I was saying about the team state thing. I think last week or maybe the week before is, the semi-state, and maybe this is excuse making 101. But I always felt like East Chicago, the semi-state individual part, would take these lumps because you were like having these brutal ticket round matches. You would have these like medalists going home with ticket round from these big teams. You just be like, man, we can't figure out how to get all these guys there. Like the years that Maryville was loaded, and you'd be like, dude, like Maryville got 6 guys there, but they left 3 guys that could probably medal it there, or some of those Portage years, or Crown Point. Now like you're looking at it, and the East Chicago semi-state, like, not that it's down, but it's not as strong as it's been in the past. It's not as strong as Evansville and Newcastle. Yeah. But the 2 toughest teams coming out of there, in my opinion, which you take it as you will, is Chesterton and Crown Point. They're coming out of the same regional. They're not going to have a death draw for themselves. And Maryville has some tough guys, and Hobart and Penn and Mishawaka are always tough. But the 2 strongest teams in our semi-state are coming out of the same regional, and I think that helps them. They're going to be able to maximize the amount of participants Friday night, which is going to help you get to a lot of points. And they could be high placers there because they're going to be, a lot of those guys will be opposite sides at the semi-state. Yeah. You could be looking at 1s and 2s, drawing 3s and 4s on Friday night.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I know we were talking about, and I've even talked about it with our coaching staff about some weight classes in our sectional and regional that, this weight class is a little bit easier in our sectional and regional, but then look at our potential draws semi-state wise. But while this weight class is tougher sectional regional wise, but guess what? We don't have to draw these guys. I don't have to worry about drawing into, I can tell you 132 is a weight class where we have Riakis and Ian Heath in our regional. Those are 2 tough guys. Those are 2 returning medalists, and I know that our 132 pounder won't run into him in either of those 2 guys in the ticket round if we make it a semi-state. So that's almost a sigh of relief, knowing, hey, it might be easier to make it a state than it is to place top 4 in our section, in our regional. So so that's
and I think I had a similar talk with a coach in our semi-state with 132. They were talking about possibly cutting a guy down, and I was to get away from Mendez, and not to get away from Mendez, but like you're looking at one possible death draw, but then on the other hand, like out of that Crown Point regional, you're going to have Stefan Roberson, Cole Solomey and Aiden Torres. Those are going to be 3 guys in the same regional. And then you're also going to have Jack Coyle of Portage, who's an Illinois placer. And you're also going to have, it looks like this Valdez kid, I haven't seen him from Mishawaka. He seems like he just got a win over Logan Stuckman.
Mhm.
You know, so it's going to be difficult. You're going to have 3 guys in that spot that could possibly, make some noise.
Yeah. Should be pretty interesting.
On top of the kid from Lake Central, who's a state qualifier in Illinois.
Yeah.
Coming out of the same region. So 4 guys out of the state regional is going to have some sort of state experience.
Jeez.
Even if you're a regional champ at 32, it's not. East Chicago's not going to guarantee you anything. It's kind of like what you're saying there, where you have 3 tough guys coming out of that Carroll regional. Like, what are you going to look for? Is it about getting kids to the regional? It's about getting kids to state.
Yeah. I mean, then you just got to make it out of the sectional and in the right place, and then you're actually, kind of smooth sailing, knowing that you're not going to have to run into those guys. You don't have to worry. You're not going to be waiting for that draw to come out to see what. I mean, obviously, you have 2 or 3 guys in your, that are tough in your weight class out of a different regional. You're looking at that draw. You're looking at what, you're playing the game of, okay, this is my best draw. This is not my best draw. You're doing your 1, 2, 3, and then realizing, okay, now we're good. So, or bad. So, the fun stuff.
And at the end of the day, throw all that out the window because it's a ticket round. Anything can happen.
Yes. So.
At the end of the day, like that's like one of the craziest rounds because, there's such a little room for mistake. There's no wrestle back. Like, you put yourself in a hole. Like, can you not panic and wrestle back out of that match?
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened to one of the best that ever did in Indiana, right?
Yeah. It's that round is so nerve wracking and just that. I mean, I just know that you can sense just a sense of relief after that ticket round at Fort Wayne. I mean, that ticket round it's East tense.
Chicago. I'm sure that's at every semi-state across the board, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Brayton Lee is wrestling on the Big Ten Network, nationally ranked. He was only at the state finals 3 times because he had a tough ticket round as a freshman.
Yeah.
Where he got put in a hole. But a really tough wrestler was a death draw. That's a guy that was at state every year.
Yeah.
And he gets put to his back, wrestles back, gets put to his back again, and
yeah,
there's no the room for error in that round is a lot less.
Yeah, and that's what your season comes down to. I mean, and you're talking Brayton Lee, who just wasn't a flash in the pan freshman. He'd been all over the country wrestling and doing lots, wrestling tough competition and in high pressure situations. But the ticket round is a whole nother animal. So
yeah. It's the team state championship for the individual side of it is really determined, I guess, in the ticket round, right? Like, how many guys can you get there? How many individuals can you get to the state finals? And then in the state quarterfinals that Saturday morning. And if you have the best success in those 2 rounds, I think you're gonna have a really good shot to host that, get the trophy at the end. I think last year they told me they only give them 4 medals at the state finals.
Yeah,
Is that what McGinley was telling us? That they only hand you 4 blue ribbons?
It was something like that. It was based on how many kids you had at state, I think, and they only had 4 or 5 guys at state. Obviously, they all did really well, and so they only gave them even though it's a team state title, they only gave it to the number of guys that were on the team. So
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I know they had to pay for the medals, which I'm sure those medals are fairly as many as they get. I'm sure they're not very expensive when you bulk buy millions of those medals. But yeah, you're right about that. And we just did the Dustin came out with another iteration of the Evansville semi-state rankings and the power poll. That's what something I always check, 'cause I don't know, I'm very intrigued with that since we've been doing that based on kind of team points, how many would score. And right now, out of the South, it has where is it? Brownsburg actually took their first lead of the year, and they are up to they have a 1-point lead on Mater Dei, and that's obviously if the rankings work out perfectly, which they will. I mean, it's against the law to beat anyone higher ranked than you. I don't know if people have gotten that memo yet.
Browns if Brownsburg's improving, like, and I'm not saying Modern Day is not. So like that's the like the ebb and flow of this whole conversation is that like you give a compliment to one team and you're like saying the other team's not doing their job, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like Brownsburg's getting better every week. Like every week you see like a result from them. You're like, wow. And this week again, Brady Eisen, like climbing that like that list, beat Cheney Chef, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So every week you're finding a win in that lineup where you're like, man, that guy's getting better. Preston Haynes is getting better. He's worked himself into top 3 guy, top number 2, right? And then obviously you have Logan Miller, who's really good. But you're gonna have now Eisen like in there saying like, hey, that was too low, and every week just knocking people off the list going up. Yes. Montgomery is just consistent. Gavin Garcia's have been. Blaze Garcia's wrestled well.
Yeah, they should be.
Those guys constantly, Cicerelli, those guys, and then you got your guys at the end. Those dudes are hammers,
Yeah, and they have a couple guys that are going to be pretty high medalists up top too, which that's always key. You have those aces in the hole there. That was very interesting. It's always fun to watch that, and I think Modern Days if you go back, Modern Days had a little bit of a lead for a while, and then it's just kind of eroded. And it's not that Modern Days dropping any; it's just that that Brownsburg's starting to move up a little bit here. Just little bits and pieces, and all of a sudden now they're right where they're right in striking distance. Yeah. So it was last week. Modern Day had a 4-point lead. And then let's see where we at. We have lots of rankings that go up on the website. Looks like.
Yeah, I think that one's gonna be difficult. That's the one that might be affected the most, right?
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah. Because those guys could definitely, and Columbus East is in that mix too. Like those guys could all like take each other out. Like I don't think one team's just gonna go in there and dominate. Like I would never say like, oh man, like Brownsburg's gonna send all their guys to semi-state and they're gonna peak and they're gonna knock every Modern Day guy out in the ticket round. But those guys are also going to be battle tested, and like if you're getting 4 medalists through there or 5 medalists through there, they're going to be 5 pretty good medalists.
Yeah, actually, it started out with Brownsburg in the lead, 140 over to 117, and now it's 133, 132 now. So it's actually over Modern Day, which is very interesting. I mean, Modern Day was actually in the lead after last week's. This is like the second time in a week he's put out rankings, so it's just. Brownsburg had a real good conference tournament, so obviously Eisen over Chef is big, so that makes it, that probably is what got them back to the lead. So that's good. It's going to be interesting. You're going to have some death draws. I mean, obviously you have Brownsburg, Center Grove, Avon, and Franklin, top 5 teams. 4 of the top 5 teams are in the same regional.
Yeah.
That's going to be
that Kyson Montgomery Benny Dalton match is going to be huge at that regional.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the loser of that could have that Alec Freeman match, which you could have a match that determines like a state finals in the ticket round. And that's what we always talk about wrestlebacks.
Yeah. and you also have Gavin Allstar lurking in the other regional.
Oh yeah, with that 38, that's that 38 though, right? Like
no,
38.
He's up there. Sorry, yes, yeah.
38's like crazy there too, because you're talking, Gavin Garcia. What would they have there? They're gonna have Gavin Garcia. They're gonna have Colin Roberts. I feel like I'm missing someone at that regional.
Roman and Allstott out of Bloomington South.
Yep.
And then you have Diesel Duncan. Connor Alcala, Gavin Garcia out of Mooresville. Then you got out of Evansville, Borman, Chris Newman, who's had some good wins. I mean, he had a 9-4 win over Bradley Conrad, who's no slouch. And then Colin Knox out of Jeffersonville. I think the Jeffersonville one is where you want to kind of draw into.
And Colin Knox, I believe he's a freshman-sophomore state champ.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, that's...
Adam Doherty's got those guys rolling, man.
Yeah, so that's not a easy out either, so that should be a good weight class. I mean, obviously 32
But I guess to that, like if you're picking regional champs, like yeah, that's the one you're like, give me Callan Knox, the freshman sophomore champ, over the IHSA state champ
Yes.
Blake Borman,
Yeah.
or the guy that majored Blake Borman, or the guy that had as a state semifinalist 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
or the man with the man bun, one of the best man buns in the game.
Yes. So anyway, going back to the Mid-State Conference, obviously Perry Meridian's white shifts are the biggest news out of there. Aiden Warren, Jalen Ward. Aiden Warren with a 8-0 major over Ward. That's pretty good. Obviously, Warren has a couple of losses early in the season, just a couple weeks ago. But once they get going, I think he'll be right in that mix for a title. Really weren't very many upsets as far as
congratulations on his college commitment too.
Yep, yeah, he's once a Falcon, always a Falcon. Going to Air Force, that's always good. So that's a pretty big commitment there. So congratulations to him. Let's see what other fun things happened last week. You had the Penn World Championships. Got to see our friends from Hobart and Bloomington South and Penn. Bloomington South has some pretty good guys. Obviously, seeing those guys up close and personal, I always like to, that was our replacement for Al Smith. And it's nice to see teams from basically 3 different areas and seeing 3 different styles. Obviously, we've already seen Hobart, but it's always good to wrestle a team twice and make sure, a good team and, make sure you make adjustments and see who can, make sure your kids are not slacking, when they know that it's going to be a tough match. But yeah, some good matches there. What else happened last week? They had the Old Capitol Classic. Hoosier Crossroads. That's the one with Brownsburg and Avon and Westfield and
the women's regional.
Yes. Oh, yes. Women's regional. We will have women's rankings tomorrow morning. They are done. I just have to add some names. So I was not able to do that this evening. So we will have them in the morning. Women's regionals. Congratulations to all the qualifiers.
So how many? What is it? The top 4 qualify?
I believe so. So there's 8 girls at the state, which kind of is a bummer because you have to make the semifinals, and if you don't obviously it's just like it's ran just like our state tournament. You get a bad draw, kind of tough luck for you. So I kind of wish they would. It'd be nice if they kind of took the top 6 out of each regional, but I'm guessing in the near future that it will be sanctioned, and hopefully they'll have like 4 regionals and girls will be spread out more. But it sounds like we're getting more and more girls, and it's getting more and more competitive.
Liberty Sutton beat Leah Bishop there. Leah Bishop was a returning champ.
Yeah. So we should have if you look on the scrolly dolly thing here, we should have the new number 1s. I just have not updated the rankings.
Is that Coach O'Neill's daughter at 52?
Yes. Yeah, she won a champ. She was a champ 2 years ago. So
I don't ever assume I have a sister that's 14. So.
Yeah. So there should be some good matches in there. Got a lot of girls that add to the database, so that's always good. And make sure you update your profiles. A lot of good, the girls wrestling in Indiana is getting better and better each year, so that's really neat to see.
It looks like the participation's like way up too. Like you're seeing a lot more schools, which is really good.
Yeah, that's the biggest. Yeah, more schools is I think there's something with the IHSA that so many schools need to be sanctioned or have participants. So it'll be a sport real soon. I don't know if it will be this year because of COVID kind of has slowed the growth of some things, but I'm surprised that everything is still going really strong, especially with COVID. and a sport like wrestling with girls that isn't quite solidified and still going real strong, and a lot of girls on the teams. So,
Man, these Campbell sisters from North Montgomery, both champs, went out and killed it, huh?
yeah, they're pretty
Haley
tough.
It's pretty good. She got a major over Haley Madley at 120.
Yeah, there's a lot. We got a handful of girls nationally ranked too, which is pretty cool. And I know the one New Haven girl last year won the regional um, Dave Schultz Award, which was really neat.
Wow.
So, which is pretty cool. So I mean, getting lots of recognition. We do have a Miss Gorilla Award this year.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to handing that out and probably trying to get a group of
When
people.
is the state finals for that? That's next week?
This
coming
yes,
week?
yes, yes, their state finals is next week, so we might have to hand that out a little early. I don't know. We'll have to see how things are going and put some people in place to make the votes. So
Yeah, maybe if we have some people, yeah, we can put the vote together, and if we can get it out early, maybe we can hand it out at the state finals and get a picture. We can do that beforehand if there's people at the state finals.
yes,
I was thinking today as I'm watching watching the national championship. Let's do it at Lucas Oil. Put the mats in the middle. We have a little bit more space.
and just put them up on the big screen matches so you can see.
They're not playing football there anymore.
That's rubbing some salt in the wound.
The Bears lost too.
Yes, that was yes. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be doing the NCAA basketball tournament there. Like they're doing all the games in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they're all doing. That's pretty interesting. I just hope I just hope they have a NCAA wrestling championship. So I hope I'm able to go. I can.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So yeah. So
Big Ten season kicked off this week.
Yeah, Big Ten started. Got to see Michigan. You saw Michigan, and then you saw Nebraska and Penn State Friday night. Got to see like 5 guys from Indiana wrestling, which is pretty cool.
I didn't even see Nebraska and Penn State.
Yeah, or Nebraska and
Minnesota. I saw on Saturday, right?
Yeah. So you got to see Chad Red and Brayton Lee there, and then got Andrew Davison, Joe Walker, and Mason Paris are starting for Michigan. So I think they're gonna have to start renaming that. Go ahead.
Is Stefan gonna be in the lineup for them also?
He's supposed to be. Yeah, I think they said he had a slight injury. So he
it's probably difficult for him, right? Like coming out of the country, don't you have to take like a short quarantine in between times?
Yeah, because he just got back from the World Cup, so he probably was quarantined, or I don't know how. It depends on how each area and each school handles that stuff. So I'm sure that probably played a little bit of a part of not being able to train fully. So yeah, so that's 40% of their lineup right now could possibly be from Indiana. So they might as well just change that school's name to Indiana.
Sean Bourmet, man. Sean Bourmet trained a lot of Indiana champs when he was at Overtime.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Yes, he did. He had a real good pipeline there. I think Kyle, Miguel,
Galka,
yeah.
Cosgrove and Howard going there. Airsman. I think he has like the winning recipe. I think that people those guys all had success, and I think they wrestle a very similar style.
Yeah, very much. So yeah.
So if you want to win state titles, man, maybe you go see those guys.
Yeah, and we will not speak of the Indiana-Illinois match. That was not very good to watch on the TV Sunday. I forget that happened.
No, it wasn't. No, I would say, DJ Washington holding it down for the region.
Yes, yeah.
Kinda.
IU has some good kids on their team. They're still a little bit young in some spots. I think they're gonna, I think they're still a year or two away from really reaping the rewards of what they're doing right now.
Yeah. What is this? Is Angel's third year?
Yeah, I believe it's his 3rd year. Yeah. So he and there's a lot of. I mean, obviously you have Hudkins, he's in his 5th year of college, I believe, but was injured 1 year and redshirted another. So he's there. Paul Conrath, I believe Asa Garcia's banged up a little bit, and they had some other guy, Nick South had it wrestled well for a little bit, but got overwhelmed by a pretty good guy. You got the Brooks brothers. Just, I mean, a lot of youth, a lot of guys that are going to scrap, and they'll be good soon. So you got to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight, especially in the college wrestling world.
In that division, man, in the Big Ten, it's tough, man. It's tough. Let me look at the result here. Yeah, I mean, but they're loaded with. He's recruiting Indiana very well, right?
Yeah.
Like Hudkins, Indiana champ. Caden Brooks, Indiana champ. Paul Conrath was in an Indiana champ, kind of went a different route. Luke Bronman, I'm not sure. Curvin, Indiana champ. True freshman in there too.
Yeah.
Danny Bronigo was an IPO champ.
Yes, he was. No, was it?
Was he not?
I think he lost to. I think his brother Joe was the only one that won an IPO championship this year. I think because I remember interviewing him and he had
second.
Yeah. He
lost to Brad Laughlin.
Yeah.
Big 9-1.
Yeah, that was Laughlin's kind of coming out party.
So, I mean, Nick South, down at Washington, had a good run in Indiana, got a win. Zach Bronigal, so. And I think they're recruiting, looks like they did well in the exhibitions, which was good. I guess not, just Jake Moran won.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think, get him a couple week full recruiting class under his belt. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think they're going to be where they need to be. I mean, we just got to be patient with wanting them to be national champions.
What do you think the expectation is on something like that? Like,
I mean,
like if you're IU, and they're not, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get growth. It's not like viewed as a wrestling school. Like you're not Iowa. Like Iowa's like national champs, right?
Yeah.
Like that's if they don't win national champs this year, they're gonna be like extremely upset. Like Penn State, same thing. Like if you're like IU, like where do you think like the realistic goal is when you look at like what are you shooting for? Top 10?
And top 20, I think as a team, I think they have a couple guys that could, Hudkins is right in there to be an All-American. I think DJ Washington's right in there. They got a couple other guys that if, the ball goes in their favor, I think they can, go deep into the tournament. And once you start getting deeper and deeper in the tournament, you're right there with everybody. So, a couple All-Americans and then, top 20, 25 finish is pretty reasonable for them. And, right now it's, you look at dual results and you're like, but I think, once, get into the team area, you want to qualify probably 5-6 guys to NCAAs. I think that'd be a good thing to get those guys experience, especially when this year's a throwaway free year. So,
I didn't look where Illinois was ranked, but and you're gonna have some tough ones. They have Iowa on the schedule again this year too.
I do not know. I have not looked at it that closely.
We don't have the comments tonight, man. This is a little tougher.
I know
we have people that are in there like my guy Danny Bell. He's an Ohio State fan. Probably not liking Devontae Smith right now, getting all these touchdowns in the national championship game.
Yeah. We I had some technical difficulties. I don't know I have to figure out what's going on. So as always, but speaking of Big Ten, Thursday we're gonna have a Guerrilla Radio minus Mike. I'm kicking him off for another Regionite. Drew Hughes. We're gonna start talking with him a little bit about wrestling and kind of just picking his brain, and he's gonna hopefully start writing some articles and stuff for us as our intern. So I'm kind of excited to talk to him and see how he's doing and how what they're doing to get ready for Big Ten. And obviously I know I just talking to him a little bit. They're testing like an insane amount of times, and the thing is, I think it's almost you get out of the protocol if you test positive. So you almost want to. They jokingly say you want to test positive so that you don't have to do the test anymore and you're kind of free for a while. So, which is very interesting, especially when at that age they aren't affected they're very slightly affected. So it'll be
Um,
interesting to see how that works.
Good man. That's a good get. Drew's a real good guy.
Yep.
Good kid, good family. I'm I'm excited to for him to be aboard. Kind of, just different things, different perspective.
Yep. And definitely talk to him about kind of what he would be thinking during his high school year during this time. I mean, I know he always wrestled well at the end of the season, and kind of things. How it got him to where he's at. I mean, obviously he's a real good wrestler, Big Ten scholarship, 2-time state champ, 3 times under the lights. So
He said every time he went out there, he just prayed that they didn't do any kind of scouting report and they were choosing down.
is that it?
You're going to go underneath?
Didn't someone do that in the semifinals once? Nathan Walton.
He did.
Yes, and I have never let Snyder nor Walton live that down.
IU does not wrestle Michigan or Iowa this year. They wrestle Michigan, Penn State, Northwestern, Nebraska, Rutgers, Michigan State, Maryland, Purdue.
Okay, I think they have the. I think Michigan and IU are this weekend, and Michigan's a real tough team.
Yeah. I think they wrestle Purdue the Sunday after the state finals.
Oh, nice.
Man, like, how can we make that happen? Where we can get that possibly like the day after Banker's Life, like get a 3-day pass. Wouldn't that be great?
You can't have fans anywhere. That's the bad thing. I know we are.
I'm saying like for the future, not like today, but I'm saying like going forward. Let's I think one year the Friday night of state, like Iowa wrestled IU, you had Sertzis and like Andre wrestle.
Yeah.
Like that'd have been a cool event to have, in Indianapolis.
Yeah, just have it right before. You can have it in the middle of it. That'd be cool.
Is that illegal? Like, what did they say? Like, I remember someone was telling me at one point that they were trying to like double up like a college duel and a high school duel. Like it was like Penn and Portage wanted to have like Penn State and Minnesota like wrestle the same night, like in the same or something like that, or maybe Purdue and Minnesota.
Yeah, they had. It's weird, because a few years ago when the national duels, the D2, D3, and the I national duels were in Fort Wayne, they also had a simultaneously running a high school duels. I know Brownsburg was there, and some
Maryville was there.
Yeah, Michigan teams were there, and I know they got, since college teams were there, it's a little tricky little thing that kind of a weird rule with IHSA. So basically what they have to do is they have to clear the gym and then let everyone back in, and it's a totally different event, I guess, is what they
Isn't that weird?
What do you say?
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to like that? Like, wouldn't you want people to get recruited?
Yeah, and I don't know what there's a weird little rule. I thought I saw it one time, but I can't remember exactly what it says. But yeah, so that's a IHSA thing. I know Jeffersonville did that. They wrestle a Kentucky school. They wrestle. They'll have like a NAI duel. And when it was in Kentucky, they didn't have to do that. When it was because when you're in a different state, you go by their rules, and Kentucky has no rules.
No rule.
The only rule is there are no rules. So
the rule of Kentucky wrestling is there's no rules.
Yes. So they but when it was in Indiana, they had to clear out the gym and then basically, redo tickets or let everyone in free, or I don't know how they did that, but yeah, it's a weird thing that goes on. I know with NCAA wise, when I was in college, and I'm sure this is, it still is actually, because we hosted a duel a couple years ago, that any profit made can't go to the school. So like concession, we didn't have concessions, because if we made money off that had to go to like what would be the host college, because that would be kind of a recruiting benefit for that school. So if Iowa Minnesota comes to Carroll, obviously we won't have concessions, because obviously there's going to be a lot of people there, but then we can't keep that money, because that's a recruiting benefit. They could go right back into Reeve Muncie's pocket because they're trying to recruit him or something, So that's an NCAA
Can you have
rule.
a bake sale?
Yeah.
Like baked goods in South.
I don't know.
Man, I don't know. That's just weird. I don't think it's like. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. I think that we should make this a 3-day event. Let's get IU, Purdue, the Sunday after the state finals, and let's get some other. Let's get University of Indianapolis, Wabash, and let's also get Marion and someone else.
And Tech.
Yeah, and Tech, and we'll just have like a Sunday, like a big Sunday of college wrestling. And if you participate in the state finals, you get a free pass.
Yeah. Oh, you have 3 mats going with 3 great duels and, all levels of wrestling, and that's great for everybody there because you can see that, there's really not, you think that NEI, D2, D3, you think there's a big jump or, big drop off. There isn't. There are a lot of good guys in all those divisions that can beat D1 guys and maybe not the national champs and stuff, but they can really, it's not much of a difference. Not as big as you'd imagine. So.
Yeah, you see you see guys jumping from the junior college level every year and making runs at plays or becoming good wrestlers or you see those guys at those open events being able to compete.
Yeah.
You see Chris Rumpf last year, beating
Teasdale.
Yeah, Gavin Teasdale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they wrestled as Wartburg with Kobe Woods. Also, they wrestled Iowa State last week or the week before. So yeah, it was pretty good to see them. They both lost close match, or I don't know if they were close, but they were competitive with those guys. So, and Iowa State has a real good game. Oh goodness. Anyway, what else is going on in the wrestling world? Yeah, it does feel weird without the comments. I will get that fixed. I promise.
A little different.
There's some comments on the other stream, but it's not. There's only a couple.
On the YouTube screen.
Yeah.
Stream?
Yeah.
I get it, man. Let's find it here.
This week on the Track Wrestling. Let's see what's going on. I know some conferences are starting to go on. I think there's some that were moved up.
What are they at?
Let's see. You got obviously the Girls State Finals, Conference Indiana, which is Southport, and I do not know the other teams. Southport, Bloomington South, North, Terre Haute North, Terre Haute South. So very small conference, and no Ray Stewart. I did know.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ray Stewart at all this year. Maybe looked like he was a pretty good center, so maybe he's focusing on football.
And before I
there's some other guys I haven't seen this year, man. I think if you're not wrestling at this point and you haven't been in the lineup, it might be time to take those guys out of the rankings.
Yeah,
it's not a threat. I don't think that's a threat, but
notice
give some guys some other opportunities.
Yeah, probably the best name in the state from Bloomington South, Tough Fender.
Tough Fender.
Yes. I know I've seen his name a little bit, and then obviously we wrestled them this weekend. But yeah, that's probably one of the best names in the state.
I bet that was a dad that knew. Like if I ever have a son, I got a name.
Yeah, you got the Hoosier Heritage Hoosier Heritage Conference. Newcastle, Delta, Greenfield Central, Mount Vernon, New Pal, Shelbyville, Yorktown. Should be some good matches there. I'm going to assume you got Christian Wright, Brevin Thrine, and then you got Carson Johnson also lurking in that weight at 132.
I believe that was Brevin Thrine's first loss. Who was his first loss last year? Was it Christian White, right?
I believe so at conference.
Yeah.
They must not wrestle each other during conference season.
Yeah, a little weird, man. A little different, a little out there.
Yeah, that was his first loss last year. He only had two losses?
Yeah, I think so. That and the ticket round, right?
Yeah. So, let's see. Any other weights? I know there should be some. The Newcastle has another 120-pounder, Gavin Whitehead.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. Let's see.
I think that was like the dark horse. I love the dark horse post. That's always one of my favorites.
Yeah. trying to figure out if you're missing anybody.
Yeah. Then you get your reoccurring Eli stock post. That's up to good.
No, they're never gonna let you forget that, are they?
Nah, one time you mess up, that's cool.
He was still ranked. He was. We snuck him in there.
He was ranked. He was lower.
I mean,
it was just tough. It was tough regional. I didn't know if he was gonna made a run, man.
Yeah.
I haven't lived it down ever since.
I mean, in your defense, he was. I mean, he had a really bad loss. I think I want to say like a Mooresville or something. Like he had like a real bad tournament where where it was hard to justify putting him crazy high, because then you'd have to bring like 16 other guys ahead of him.
Yeah. I think he was like one of the rare didn't make it to state one year, won a state title. Like you don't see a ton of those.
No, you don't.
Where you didn't even not a qualifier, not a. Yeah, I don't believe he was a qualifier or a medalist, right? I think he was a semi-state guy to the title, man. You don't get to see that all the time. So, good story. I always get to hear it, so that's good.
Yeah, let's see. Any other good weights there? Obviously, 32 is going to be the highlight weight. The EIAC. I don't know who's that one. Who's that? The Eastern Indiana Athletic Conference. Batesville, Connersville, East Central should win by about 7,000. Oh my goodness, the NECC is on track wrestling? What is this stuff?
DAC is this weekend too. The Newland Athletic Conference.
What is going on? The NIC at Elkhart, that should be a real good one. That one's always, but I know Mishawaka's out of the NIC now. Correct?
Like forever, or just like through this year?
Forever.
Where they head? DAC?
No, Mishawaka is in the NLC with Wawasee, Northridge, those schools. You got Penn, all the South Bend schools, New Prairie, Jimtown, Elkhart, Bremen, John Glenn. So Penn will probably run away with that. Should be some good matches. We really haven't seen too much about the South Bend schools this year, so might get some new guys.
Yeah. That's always one good for the semi-state rankings.
Yeah,
Coach Flatt always does a pretty good job there. Haven't seen a lot of results for some of their guys. They have some pretty tough guys. Simeon Norton and those guys.
Yeah. The NCC, I thought that was that spans like the North Central Conference. That spans like all of Indiana.
That's like the Lafayette Jeff one?
Yeah,
like
they go Lafayette Jeff to Richmond.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
Yeah, I don't see Lafayette Jeff in this. I don't know if they dropped out now, but let's see. The NLC.
Was Logansport in there also? It's like Logansport and like Muncie Central's in there, right? Like
Muncie Central. Yes, it's the craziest.
It encompasses 3 semi-states.
Yes. How many conferences do that?
It might be the only conference that incorporates 3 semi-states into there. Like who's the closest Newcastle or Evansville semi-state they can get in there? There's no like South Indy schools that can sneak in that.
Yeah. It has Anderson, Harrison, West Lafayette, Arsenal Tech, Kokomo, Lafayette Jeff, Logansport, Marion, McCutcheon, Muncie Central, and Richmond. It literally goes from Illinois to Ohio.
Man, I'm trying to think like who can we sneak in there? Like, can we get Monroe? No, that's probably too far south.
We just need one team for Evansville. We just need to sneak in like a Seeger or something. Seeger used to always go to.
They used to go to Newcastle. They're at East Chicago.
Okay, no, maybe I'm sneak in.
They could probably get one of those Terre Haute schools, maybe.
Yeah, you might as well get Terre Haute North and South.
Yeah. West Vigo.
Carol's looking for a conference. Maybe we can join in.
That'd be great, man.
Traveling to Richmond on a Tuesday night for a conference duel. That'd be fun. Yeah, I did not see them on that list, so I don't know what's going on. The Northern Lakes, that'll be a good one. Mishawaka, Northridge, Northwood, Plymouth, Warsaw, Wawasee. I know.
What is this Zaxby's Invitational? Zaxby's like the chicken place?
I guess I have no clue what that is.
Zaxby's is like a southern chicken place. It's delicious.
Yes.
They have great chicken tenders. It's the Zaxby's Invitational. Like we're trying to get the Casey's Pizza Invitational and the Pizza Puff Invitational. Yeah. These guys beat us to the punch, man.
Yeah, we're trying to get the I just want free pizza puffs to for the show. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I saw it. I did not click on it. Maybe I will. But hey, you get a sponsor like that. Let's see, where's the Zaxby's Pioneer Invitational? Our Lady of the Providence, Floyd Central. I don't know if anyone actually wrestled because there was only like six.
Looking at, it says did Dylan Allen beat Bray Ermine there?
They had.
What is this? I don't know what this is. I have to find what that is.
I don't think this was a real event.
Well, now I'm disappointed. Not for the results, but because I thought Zaxby's restaurant was sponsoring tournaments.
Yeah, so yeah, we got a lot of good conferences are happening this week. We got a few more comments. So Zaxby's is very good from our favorite friend in Texas.
Dude, it's delicious, man.
I've always seen it, never really had it.
Well, that's a misstep, Joe.
Yes.
I think we're finding out a lot more about you than I thought we knew.
Yes, I've lived in a quite a bubble. The Fort Wayne bubble where you don't get the pizza puffs and no Zaxby's up here.
I don't know I don't know what the furthest Zaxby's up north is.
I would have no clue.
I know they're in Tennessee for sure because I'm stopping on the way to Florida.
Nice location. Let's see where the ones are.
It's probably in Kentucky, man. There's no rules there. They probably do have them in Kentucky.
Oh, they have one in Fishers and a few in
Indiana.
There's a few in Indiana. They got some in New Albany, Jeffersonville, of course.
Do you guys have Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, we have Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
You
guys on Sundays.
We don't got cater that for IPO. So I have like a gazillion points in Chick-fil-A points now because I catered that for the refs and workers.
Nice, that's good.
Got to use
that.
So
was it close one at Fishers?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. So.
Got a couple.
You got some in Greenwood. Obviously, we get more comments when we start talking food.
Yeah. Oh, there was one in Evansville. That's where we were eating it. We went to Nationals. We were eating.
Nice.
It's right between Evansville and Boonville, man.
Oh, I know. I've passed them before and man, those look kind of good.
Maybe I was at the Newborough one. I think that's Evansville too.
Yeah. Yeah, they got quite a few. There's Newburgh, Greenwood, Evansville, Jefferson, Jayville, home of Danny Struck. Greco City has one. Every city needs it. That's all.
Dude, they're good, man. You gotta get the Zaxby sauce. It's pretty delicious.
Yeah. So let's see. Sounds like the football game isn't very exciting, so more people might be tuning in.
Ohio State just scored. They're bringing it back. I think they hurt the Heisman Trophy winner. He looks like he's stretching out his hamstring because I don't think he had to hurt himself because he was scoring too many touchdowns.
Nice. So, any other rumors and rankings? I assume you're looking at a Wednesday.
I got to go through all these results. It was a 3.5-hour drive from Davenport, so we didn't really get a good. I got in at 11:30 last night. Didn't get a chance to really sit down and look at all the good wrestling. I was doing training today, so I'm CPR trained again, and my all my hazmat and stuff, all my Whopper, my OSHA stuff's getting renewed. So I didn't get a chance to, play on my phone at work like I normally do.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like we got some results in. Lots of results. So
yeah, they pretty cool. I mean, like always cool to go to Iowa. Like I said, I got to weird, a super weird thing. We were there was a wrestling tournament at the building we were at, like unplanned. I don't know if my parents believe me, because the last time we had a practice at the Southland Center in Illinois, that's where they had that wrestling tournament. Then getting them shut down.
Yes.
And then turn around, we're down in Iowa, and at the same facility they have this it's called like the Hammer Tournament, and they're handing out like Thor plaques or Thor like statues for champions, which is pretty cool. And we're in the elevator at the hotel / casino, and Pete Easton's dad's in there. I just seen some Illinois guys. Oh, where are you guys from? And they were like over, and he's like, well, my son wrestles in Indiana. So yeah, where's he wrestle? He said, Penn. I said, oh, what's his name? He said, Pete Easton. I said, dude, he's really good. He's like, oh, he watches the Gorilla Radio, so that's pretty cool. Different, it's not anywhere you think you're going to go. They said Dan Gable's there signing books. I didn't see him.
Nice. Yeah, there it is.
Recent, Medal of Freedom winner, Dan Gable.
Yeah. Pretty. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Those are pretty cool. Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, right?
This one kid has like 2 belts and this statue that's as big as him.
Yeah, the facility was unreal, man. It was a really nice facility. It's called like TBK Sports Complex.
Yeah.
It was really nice. They had 2 full like indoor turf softball fields. They had like an upstairs workout area, and I think 7 basketball courts they had for the tournament. They were serving alcohol there. They had a bowling alley there. I always feel like that's a weird thing because there's a lot of like weird energy already at wrestling tournaments where there's some like real aggressive stuff in the stands. I'm not even talking on the mat, and now you're letting these guys drink. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
IPO almost had alcohol. They serve alcohol at the Plex, and they're like, "Do you want?" I saw there's alcohol. I'm like, "Oh man!" Like, you want us to serve alcohol? I'm like, "No, please, no, please, no."
But you guys had like a limited amount of like fans though too. Can you imagine if they like opened up drinking at the state finals?
Oh goodness!
Dude, there's guys that come back wasted after lunch.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I'm thinking, like, how did you drink so much in like an hour? This is unreal. And how did you get a table so fast?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to figure out more or less. How do you get a table so fast? Yes. Yeah. I could not. For the safety of everyone, I said no, thank you on the alcohol. I don't think that would have went over too well.
You'd had Mitch Roadrunner Part 2 or what?
Yeah, yes. we try to limit that as much as possible. Ooh, Giordano's fun.
Mitch Roadrunner had to keep kids in check. Okay.
Yeah. Yosef found Big Al's beef down in.
Hey, they used to have a Big Al's beef in Cherville, and it was so good.
Nice.
Dude, I was so upset when they shut it down. Now it's La Carreta, but man, I'm telling you that was so good.
And now there's a little bit of an argument which is the best pizza, Giordano's or Lou Malnati's.
I don't know, man. I like Giordano, so like I think like the real Chicago people love Lou Malnati's. They like this like butter crust. Like, so if you like Captain Crunch cereal, you might like that because I think it cuts the roof of your mouth.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we got Giordano just down the road from me now, so.
Harrisville was kind of going in. We didn't do the poll on, like, what different region pizzas we were going to do.
Yeah, we need to. Have we haven't even talked about our. You said that we're going to talk about the challenge also.
I know, man. Did you watch it? That was a power move.
Yes, that was
good.
I'm still trying to figure out how you play this game, but it's very interesting to see. You have to, especially now the double agents has added some flair to it, where you don't want to get on. You want to break up those people that are all trying to congregate and gang up on people. So
I mean, kinda. I mean, I don't know. Like, you gotta like get alliance, man. You gotta but your alliance has to be strong, and you gotta like get people you trust. Like, obviously Corey and Nelson, their boys ain't gonna do each other like that. But
yeah,
you just met this dude Fezzi. Like, dude, how bad did that look when they were about to go? And that's like Triple B and Nick going in the hall.
Yeah, no, I thought there was gonna be a someone was gonna be paralyzed. Heck, they had wrestling last the week before, and the one girl dislocated her shoulder, the other girl dislocated her elbow and stuff.
On top of like a moving truck too.
Yeah. Yes.
So like I like to look these competitors up. Cause like I was this great athlete. That dude Fezzi played like football at Tennessee Chattanooga. He's like 6'5", like 260. He was a tight end.
Yeah.
Like Nelson's little. He's a little baby, dude. You can't go down hall brawl with that guy.
Yeah. No.
It's like me going against OC. Like if it's a stamina game, she's gonna beat me. But like if we're just going head up, getting her.
Yeah. I keep watching this and I compare it to when we play ankle tag. And you have all these guys that, you see the kids all congregate together, they gang up, they form their alliances. Then all of a sudden, when it gets down to the last 5 or 6, that alliance is all off.
I know. It's like dodgeball in gym class, man. You got to take out the weak ones first.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be putting these rookies in, man. They ain't playing the game right.
Yeah. Well,
they got too many vets out.
Yeah, well, they got the rookies are pairing up with the vets in there. Yeah, so I'm getting into it. I used to be a big Real World person. I always liked watching Real World until probably mid-2000s, kind of got away, busy with life. But so this is very interesting to watch. I'm trying to figure out all the gamesmanship that goes on behind the scenes of, we got to be buddies with this person but can't be buddies with them and got to get them out. I like the double agent part where they have a lot more going on. So
man, I can't believe Torrey snaked them like that though.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. And you can't trust anyone. So.
Nah, man. Like and they got the caption. The camera catches everything, right?
Yeah.
Like Hall brawl. Who got voted in? It's Nelson. Put me in. Like, dang, bro, snaked your guy.
Now they got to get that in. They have to get a skull. So they're kind of looking. You want to get a skull, but you don't want to. Obviously, you want people eliminated too. So you don't want to go in there all the time.
But I felt like Kyle was right that time, dude. Like if you want to come down here and do the like you knew it was gonna be like a tough event, right? Like when you went against that dude Josh.
Yeah.
Like you're being a baby. You're lying. You ain't trying to be tough. Like stop.
Yeah. You definitely gotta pick your spots and get if you have an opportunity to get a skull, get one. So I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm very intrigued by it now. Thank you for getting me addicted to a show. And I'm gonna start watching the previous episode, previous seasons to get caught up on all these guys, how they're making millions of dollars just doing this. And
I'm telling you, man, I miss my calling in life. Some people want to play in the NFL. Some people, want to invent something. I wish I was living in a house with a group of strangers and then get to go do competitions.
And trying to be friends with it. You do go to that. You're good at being friends with everybody and kind of, you're easy to trust. You're easy to, next thing you know,
that's how
you're snaking me. You're throwing me to the wolves. No.
I'll do it like on the duel that's on Netflix right now. No, you want to go against CT. Take him into the duel. You got him.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. I should. Yeah.
Donnie Baker, the baby maker from Wanamaker, says the Ordinary is the best. Better than any region pizza. I'm going to have to try it out.
The Ordinary. That doesn't even... come on. You got to do better than the Ordinary. You got to have a good name. So,
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see what's up.
Anything else we can talk about? Obviously, we got a late start due to technical glitches.
Oh man, I forgot. I did like a little guest spot tonight. I'm doubling up. This is my second show.
Oh yes, the
High School Wrestling Weekly with Dane and Rex. I was on their little 15-minute segment. I told Dane, I said I went out, I was studying up on all the Fort Wayne rankings. I was gonna have this like real thought out, like, hey, like all this is so good, like you guys are these weight classes is Adam County, and then it just went sideways, man. I don't know if I talked one rankings thing.
Nice. Nah, tune in. We will have that on our podcast page hopefully tomorrow, usually afternoon-ish. I know we have a couple matches the next couple days, so I'm going to be a little bit busy. So, yeah, middle school state's coming up. I do not know when middle school state is because I am too focused on it.
They changed it last year. It used to be the day after semi-state, but last year was different, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be in Fort Wayne because that's where all the good wrestling happens.
Everything's in Fort Wayne now.
Yes, I mean, it's the mecca for, where is it at? There we go. Oops.
For what?
It is going to be January 24th, so that's in 2 weeks at the War Memorial Coliseum. So
that's cool. That's a good event, though. That's a good
place
facility.
to have it. And especially right now, they're hard up for events, and it's probably a lot easier to have something there because people can spread out and not to be on top of each other like they would in a high school. So, yeah. Oh,
are they going to hold it in the stadium side? Or are they going to hold it in the
Expo
convention
Center? They're probably going to do that in the Expo Center there, I would assume.
I went there one time for a WWE wrestling event when OC still wanted to be a WWE wrestler and saw the debut of the New Day.
Nice. Well, the Coliseum, that's good. You know, the arena is real nice, and maybe they will be going in there. I don't know, but hopefully get lots of wrestlers there. It's easy play. You know, we can have some guest spots for the for Guerrilla Radio. Maybe we'll be live and on site. Just have people come in and come to Victory Bay and hang out and talk some Guerrilla Radio.
Nice, that'd be good. What? So where's it all been? It used to be at Newcastle, and then last year it wasn't at Newcastle, right? It was somewhere different.
Yeah, it was at the last couple years. It's been at Center Grove. I think it was supposed to be at Carmel last year, and Carmel had that boiler room explode, and so they moved it to Center Grove. So I believe it was supposed to be kind of at Carmel this year.
Remember that old janitor that was there? He used to wear that red and black shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, now he's in my dreams.
Yeah.
No Freddy Krueger jokes? Okay.
No.
I look like a shooting laugh.
Yeah, no. I believe it was supposed to be there for, and then they weren't able to have it there. But, yeah. So, yeah, Fort Wayne, hopefully. I mean, it'd be cool if it stayed in Fort Wayne, but I'm going to guess it doesn't. But, because it's a real good event, and I'd like my kids not to have to travel. Everything else is in Indy. Let's have everything in Fort Wayne, is my guess.
Yeah, but Indy's kind of the center of the state.
Yeah. But no, I was looking at because we have all the results that are input from the for the significant results, and it is crazy to see the number of results, and it's no coincidence that the teams that are at the top are all seeking out the best competition. Perry Meridian basically has 10% of the results in our database for the individual. They have 108, and I think there's just over like 1,100.
I've had a couple people ask me, how do you add a wrestler if they want to add a wrestler? Just getting some notable results, Joe.
Well, you send a message to our rankings gurus, and then they add them to the rankings, and then they'll get in there, and then I will add them when we update the rankings, or if they're on the watch list.
That's what I told. That's what I told them. I said you got usually they're for the guys that are ranked in the semi-state, and then or ladies.
Yes.
And then or they're a returning semi-state qualifier or better.
Yep. Every year during the summer I add all the returning underclassmen that were semi-state qualifiers, because that's always a good start for our semi-state and state rankings, and then add the ones that are always on our watch list, and have some wins here and there. So 1 or 2 wins don't always get you on there, but they will sometimes. I mean, but looking at the teams, Perry Meridian, Warren Central, Indianapolis Cathedral, Columbus East, Carmel, Center Grove, Chesterton, Brownsburg, and Crown Point are the top 10 teams that have the most individual. Obviously, it helps when you have more guys ranked, but they're also seeking out big competition everywhere. I mean,
Bethle's Ordinary Pizza place looks like the Golden Nugget that Nikki Santoro was hanging out in Casino.
Nice. Where's it
I don't know if you can see this, but doesn't this look like if you could just tie your horse up right up to the front of it?
Oh, jeez.
After the picture of my face.
Nice. Where's this?
I'm trying to find a picture of their food now.
This is in Wanamaker. Where the heck is Wanamaker?
I don't know.
It is just out. Oh, it's just outside Is this it? The New Bethel. No, I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. The New Bethel Wanna Ordinary? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's what they said.
Yeah, this place looks very interesting.
Doesn't it look like, have you seen Casino? Are you gonna tell me you've never seen Casino? That's where Joe Pesci's character was hanging out. If anyone's online, man, you look at that.
Oh my, yeah, they got some. Ooh, that burger looks good. Breadsticks the size of your head. Our wings look juicy. The pizza, wow.
So we're going there. So it's stone. We're going.
Yes, we're gonna do diners, drive-ins, and dives of Indiana food. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna have to try that.
Appreciate that, guys.
Yes, we're always up to try new food. We're not shy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, just anyway, probably not too far from. Let's see, how far is it from Warren Central? This is south. Yeah. Oh my. Oh, jeez. It's 15 minutes from Warren Central. It's not that far. So yeah. Oh, jeez.
Why has Mike Morgan ever told us about this?
I know. We're Mike.
He doesn't post losses. He doesn't tell us about good pizza. Disappointed, man.
Yes. I think he's from more the north side, though. I think he's more north side. I don't know exactly where he lives. At least that's what I've gathered. He's out in the country. So maybe he doesn't head the south side. I don't know. Where the heck does Mike Morgan live? He's probably not even listening. No, Mike Morgan is not skinny. He's gained a few. He's not 135 pounds anymore from where he placed at state. So, anything else to talk about tonight before it's past my bedtime? No.
Just how bad Ohio State secondary looks right now. Mac Jones just carving them all up. He can barely walk. If I was the Bears, I wouldn't take a single guy out of the secondary right now. What that means is they will. And then you'll be more upset. No, they're probably gonna do something crazy. They'll go out and sign, a wide receiver, then draft 2 wide receivers. That's what they like to do.
Yes, you gotta load up on one position. That's all you need. So, well, we are going to get out of here. I will be back Thursday night, and then we'll
enjoy that, man.
Yes.
That's gonna be a good time.
So, we'll have Mike back on next Sunday, most likely. I assume.
Yeah. Do we have something Sunday?
Maybe.
From 3 to 5. No, we'll do this at 8.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll be back next Sunday. Might have a pretty nice announcement of a pretty good event. A couple good matches going on that last week. Kind of waiting to get official confirmation, but I heard some good matches might occur. So
be awake for a late arrival to the state series too.
Yes, there's rumors that there's rumors floating around that there might be a new person in the rankings coming up, and not new to the rankings, but just new because he's not in there. So stay tuned for that. But we will have an update tomorrow, or ranking update probably Wednesday. So we will see.
Try.
Yep, we will see you guys later.